with it, in the hood with it. Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel, and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled, but even more so, very appreciative. So thank you so much. Couldn't do it without you. So there's two sides to every coin. And the North and South, Norteños and Southsiders have always been the same coin. A lot of people will tell you differently. A lot of people will tell you they're nowhere near the same coin. And that's just a lot of the wrong klecha. That's sklecha. Orderly, hey, the hawk. Orderly, right? That's a lot of the wrong education that's been given out there. Propaganda that's been spilled to cause division and dissension and hatred and, you know, envy and all those bad words that come with it. But truth be told, it's all the same coin, right? And there's been a lot going on lately to disprove what I'm saying. To say, nah, Charlie, homies, we don't fuck with them vatos. Them vatos ain't nothing like us on both sides, right? To be honest with you, man, if you're a true believer in the raza, if you're a true believer in the step of the brown people, of people coming up together in harmony and peace and making feria and making a bag, right? Then you have to understand what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying. As far as being a different side of the coin, you have the heads, you have the tails. Whoever's fighting to be heads or tails, that's up to you. At the end of the day, it's all the same damn thing to me, man. I grew up at a very young age, incarcerated around Southsiders, the majority, right? So that's why my estilo's a little bit different. That's why my level of respect is a little bit different. That's why I have a lot of Southsiders that come onto my page, onto my channel, that show that amount of respect. And it's because of the way I conduct myself and because of the way that I show the respect that they deserve. Okay, when it comes to the Norteños, I was part of the cause. I was part of the movement. I spilled blood on behalf of the gente. I did what I think I had to do along my journey and my path to gain that level of respect. But I understand none of that counts, and it's all thrown away in the basura when you become what they literally say is basura, right? When you're no longer in the shenanigans or in the gang like that, then everything you've ever done doesn't count. Well, it counts to me, right? But it doesn't count to everybody else. That's understandable. I know I once played by those rules, and once you play the game by the rules, then you should understand them. So that is what it is. But that's never going to stop me from showing love and respect to both sides and saying, hey, man, everybody's about the business, man. It ain't who's about the business more or who's about it less. They're all about it. So there's been a lot going on lately, especially in the rap game with the North and South rappers going at it. And it's actually becoming something more than just rap beef. Now it's literally becoming the inside controls the outside. I'm noticing a lot of whispers on the inside. I'm talking to a lot of people that are saying, you know, this shit right here is having an impact on what could possibly become something on the inside. You know, and that right there is unfortunate, because the end of hostilities that was put into play has lasted over a decade now. It has brought people together, formed relationships as far as friendships, business dealings. There's a lot that's went on. Now, there's some people strictly against it because they believe in the old ways. They believe never, you know, get too close to your enemy, because your enemies are going to be the first ones to stab you in your back. But I'm here to tell you, it's never your enemies that are the first ones to stab you in the back. It's usually your friends. It's usually the ones that are very close to you. That's why you keep your friends close. You keep your enemies close and your friends closer. Or is it the other way around? You keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Whatever the case may be, man. In this case, you know, it seems like friendships are quick to sever quicker than, you know, the opposition. But there's been a lot going on, you know, and there's a hatred there that is hard to decipher. And it's been so ingrained and locked in for so long, for over 50 plus years, that little vatos that are coming up, the newer generation, can't seem to get over it. You know, in one breath, I'll hear them say, man, I'm about the bag. I ain't on that old head gangbanging shit like that. And then in the next breath, they be SK all day, NK all day, and it's just gangbanging 101, right? I remember that. It brings back good times and a whole lot of bad times. And I can tell you right now, the bad times outweighed the good times by many miles, right? Many men wish death upon me, and even still, because of those past prior things that I've done. But it just is what it is. So now you have Goldtoes. Okay, and I've showed Goldtoes nothing but the utmost level of respect on my channel because I see him as an entrepreneur, as a maestro, a teacher to the gente on what it means to be brown, what it means to show canalismo, what it means to, you know, break down doors and barriers and geographical lines and lines that are drawn in the sand. This guy has been doing this shit for decades now, for a long time, man. When it comes down to him, it's about showing love for all the raza, north and south. But even more so than that, I think it's all about helping people to get, you know, to maximize their talents, to get a bag in the process. Why not? This guy owns a company that helps rappers become established, that helps rappers push their agenda and make some noise. And that's what we need as brown people. We don't have much of that. You know, the black community, they have a whole lot of that. A lot of doors that are open. They have people like Whack 100, On Paru, and several others, man, that are willing to work and negotiate deals with them and to help them, you know, be a household name, to make money making music. And why not? Why not use your artistry and your talents to make bread, you know, for your people? At the end of the day, it all comes down to racial lines. It does, really, right? And who you're willing to help. And if you help your people, then you guys keep prospering, man. You keep bringing money back to the hood, back to the neighborhoods, back to your gente, right? And I think that's what the brown people are starting to do. We're starting to make noise in the industry, but we're not going to do it without people like Goldtoes and several others that are contributing to that pot. Okay? Now, the Florencia gang, Florencia 13, is a very well-known group or gang, you know, organized in the city of Los Angeles and several other places, but the base being LA. And I remember when I was doing time as a kid, I ran into some real solid individuals from Florencia, right? Florence, South Central LA is where I ran, you know, I ran into these guys incarcerated, but they were from South Central. Rest in peace to Crazy Boy, right? I'll never forget that guy. And I'm going to tell a quick little story for those of you that don't know the history on that. I was, you know, many times when I was in Southern California, I would get put on compas, which were buildings, right? Or places in the school area by myself. Situations where I shouldn't have never made it, where it was all bad. It was a bad situation. And these guys from Florencia had a lot of enemigas there. Okay. They were going at it at that time with 18, very much so. Playboys, like those were the three biggest gangs there, that it seemed like every time one of them hit the compa, they had to catch that head up fade. They had to do their thing. So, you know, I would get at Crazy Boy. Somewhere along the line, a conversation sparked, and he was like, look, homie, I don't even know you like that, bro, as far as my enemy. You know, I know what I'm being told from people that have been in prison, homeboys that have laced me up, but me and him were cool. You know, we used to clown, chop it up. He was like, bro, there's no way I'm going to allow you as a Chicano to get jumped in my presence, to get plaqueated or hit from the back. He was like, as long as you're around my space, Holmes, you know, I'm going to make sure that you catch that one-on-one, that you get that level of respect because you've always showed me respect. And I'll never forget that. He was one of the very few guys that told me that. Like, I ain't tripping off you, bro. There's no reason for me to trip off you. That's why I say, you know, when it comes to North and South beefing, especially in this rap beef, I don't know why Vatos are beefing with Vatos from down South and vice versa, because these guys don't even know each other. There's no personal anger there. You know, other than like that Vato Bozo who seems to have a personal chip on his shoulder against Norteños, most Vatos would tell you they don't even concern themselves with the North. They're not even tripping like that. And it just is what it is. And I think a lot of the homies from up North will tell you the same thing. They don't trip off Vatos from down South as much as they do the upstaters up North that they have to see every day, you know, on the block. That's a different feeling right there. And see, these guys from down South, they don't understand that because they're not living that. They're living the life where they have enemies that fly the same colors as them, that look just like them, that are doing the same thing they're doing. That's who they're going at it with. They're fighting over territory, turf, and barrios. Whereas up north, you're not fighting over that. You're fighting over a difference, a matter of opinion, and just, you know, something that's been ingrained and been going on for so many years. The shit will never stop. It's hard to stop what's already there. There's a lot of, like Rico Tusmu said, there's a lot of bloodshed, okay? And what he meant by that was between upstaters and Norteños up north. You know, as far as the Vatos from down south, yes, there has been incidences in prison. Yes, over the decades, there was bloodshed that was spilled. Guerra that happened. Yards that were established. But that's in there. In there is a different world. Out here on the streets where freedoms are not cheap, right? You have to maintain it. The only way to maintain it is to have a good head on your shoulders, a positive head on your shoulders, and be educated enough to understand what you need to do and tripping on someone that's 1,000 miles away, man, ain't going to cut it. That ain't what's going to get you to where you need to go. So anyways, back to Goldtoes. He's always been an entrepreneur and an innovator in making things happen. And as far as Florencia goes, you have a rapper that's very well known in the LA area who has been considered the face of LA for a very long time, who I consider, when I think about Southern California rappers, the face of LA. I don't think Lefty Gunplay. I don't think Rowdy Rax. I don't think Ryder G. I don't think any of these rappers, Little Cuete, and it's respect to all them vatos. They deserve their own level of respect, right? But when I think of the face of LA, I think of Baldacci. And the reason I think of Baldacci, it's not the tattoos that stand out to me, or even the barrio he's from, even though they are considered one of the biggest barrios and have a super level of respect, right? But I think it's the way he moves. The way he's basically about his business, and he's about his feria, and he's about his gente and his people, and especially his barrio. He's a perfect example of guys from down south, Southsiders, Sureños that I've been around, how they move. That was what I was used to. Vatos that conduct their business in a fucking professional fashion, right? Not vatos that are fucking yelling, screaming, diamond teeth in their mouth, doing this, or not vatos from up north that are biting into the fucking, the bullshit and banging on wax and going back and forth on the internet. See, norteños were not supposed to conduct themselves like that whatsoever, period. Now, I understand when vatos keep woofing on you or vatos keep bumping baking soda breath on the doors, it's only a matter of time before you have to clap back, before you have to speak your piece and defend yourself. I ain't mad at that, right? But even to indulge in that type of frivolous behavior is rather unbecoming of the cause and everything that it means, the whole definition behind it, right? There's a whole different definition of banging, man, or representing your gente and your cause rather than going back and forth. So anyways, Baldacci and Goldtoes have found themselves working together. This is a new era. See, a new era has begun. This is a vato who's represented the South to the fullest in Baldacci and is very respected out there in the calles, deciding to put all the bullshit and the shenanigans to the side and say, you know what? I'm going to respect this man for the man he is. Not for what people say he is or for what people portray him as. Because there's been a lot of people hating on Goldtoes from Southern California. Let's keep it real. When the vato first went down there, not a lot of people knew his historia. They didn't know his history. They didn't know what he was involved in. And he was able to make some power moves wearing shower shoes and wiggle, right? And get a little bit of respect. Smart individual. He got the respect in the right places. But there was also a lot of people. There was some content creators. There was some Southern California rappers. There was even Northern California rappers that didn't like the fact that he was breaking bread, like Jesus said, at the same table with Southerners and doing business deals and trying to coordinate shit. I mean, Lefty Gunplay just dropped a song the other day where he said, and I quote, "Goldtoes, I ain't signing shit with you," right? That's cool. You don't have to sign with the brown man. You already signed with the Asian man. You're good, bro. You're locked in. Okay, the brown man's going to continue to progress regardless if you sign with him or not. That's just a fact, right? And this is no disrespect to Lefty Gunplay. I understand where he's coming from. I don't know if he does, though. Do you understand what I'm saying? There it is. Real knowledge you can't get in college. But Baldacci understands, Holmes. He understands to bring the money back to the barrio to get a bigger bag, then you got to keep it brown, right? Just like, and this is not being racial at all. I'm just speaking the truth and the facts here. You know, you got to start with your own self and your own people first before you could spread the wealth, man, and knock down doors to other people. You know, I hear a lot of people say, man, black and brown, and I'm a big proponent for black and brown and the unity and all that and getting this shit together and stopping all the frivolous violence and unnecessary disrespect on the internet and making everything racial. And I don't believe in all that, right? Because that's not how I was raised. I was raised with the black man striving for the same types of causes, same type of principles, and standing on our fucking 10 when it comes to really gangbanging, right? And I respect that. I understand there's personal beefs and shit like that, but when it comes to a people as a whole, I don't base or judge a whole group based on one man's interactions or one man's characteristics. I see the black people as the same type of minority that we are, man, and that's brown people in the hood struggling, same rats, same roaches, same shiesty approaches, and that's just what it is. Now, Baldacci and Goldtoes are working together. Somewhere along the line, they were able to meet, and I believe that Baldacci accepted Goldtoes for the man he is, which is a very respectable man. You could just tell, looking at him, man, his mannerisms, He's a very professional individual who's willing to adapt to what you got going on and help you, you know, and open up doors with the connections he has. And who wouldn't enjoy that, man? Who wouldn't work hand in hand to get somewhere? These guys are truly breaking down barriers. You know, I seen Baldacci's new video, and it is basically, it's a GT digital video. Okay, he's went all out. He's basically saying, fuck what everyone else is talking about. Fuck all the kid games and the bullshit, man. Hey, let's get it, homie. You know, when you build that relationships with someone, regardless of where they're from, north, south, none of that matters at the end of the day. What matters is your familia and the push that you're rocking. You're an individual. That is a time to show individualism, to be yourself, to break down barriers. Now, when everyone else chooses to get on the train, when everyone else is like, damn, these Vatos are fucking really doing this, man. You know, because they were able to build a strong friendship outside of business. You know, and I'm just telling you from the outside looking in, this is the way I see it. You know, I seen a quote from Baldacci the other day where he was like, you know, Goldtoes pulled up on me, man, when no one else really did. All these dudes that say they got my back in the industry and this and that. He's the only one that did that. I also seen another Instagram post a while back where Spanky Loco, the rapper, man, was pretty well known, man, for an incident that took place on the internet, right? With the Vato Night Owl, right? Rest in peace. He talked about how, you know, when he was, you know, doing bad or he wasn't in the position to make too much happen at that point in time. He was having a child, man, how Goldtoes pulled up, Goldtoes tapped in with him, Goldtoes checked up on him. Goldtoes sent a whole bunch of stuff for his newborn baby. That right there, man, is realness. That's as real as it gets. That's aside from the North and South. See, people with this constant, them dudes are punks, or them dudes are suckers, or them dudes want to be like us, or them dudes are trying to act like us. There's always going to be those that say that. And look, from the outside perspective looking in, it does seem like that at times. It does seem like, look, and we're going to be totally honest here, man. No added preservatives, uncut. You know, a lot of people don't like me anyway, so they're going to keep unliking me, right? Or not liking me. The North has always had a swag. Okay, the Norteños have always had a swag. When I was a Norteño, and well, I'm shit, even now, I still got a swag, right? I've been hated on for it many times. I've heard it. You're a mayatero. You guys try to act black. You guys are all on the black shit. You guys fucking got cornrows. You got gold teeth. You got this. You got that. I heard it a lot, right? And I always tripped because I knew the Central Valle, where I was from, 209 area, was a little bit different than the Bay Area. And they were more so talking about homies from the Bay. But fuck you. You talk about one homie, you're talking about them all, right? So there was always that. And the reverse thing was the homeboys would be like, oh, you Vatos are paisas, you Vatos are this, you Vatos are that. That's how, that was the beef back and forth, right? And then the beef back, and then the clap back was, oh, why are you guys talking about paisas? See, you're talking about Mexicanos. That's because you guys are watered down and you're not Mexican. And then the other thing will be like this, you ain't in Mexico no more, homes. You're a Chicano. How are you going to be a Chicano if you're flying a Mexican flag, homes? Where's your American flag? I mean, there's just so much beef that goes back and forth. And to me, it was all stupid because they were all brown. We were all brown, man. But I ain't going to lie, the Norteños did have that flavor. They did have certain mob music beats. They did have certain ways that they rapped. And a lot of people liked it, but just couldn't tell you so. And nowadays, the Southerners, man, done caught up. And when I mean they done caught up is they're also into that type of stuff now. They went from the oldies tracks, you know, and that stilo, which I liked. I appreciated it. A lot of people are like, that was trash music. Nah, I think you're speaking from a gangbanging mentality. On some real shit in music, and I'm a music lover, I liked it, right? I'm your puppet on a Sunday afternoon. Shit, I was there on a Wednesday fucking 9 in the morning bumping that. I liked it, okay? But that's just the way it was. You know, there was just a hatred there, and anything that the other people did, I don't give a fuck. They didn't like the way they licked ice cream. You know, there was always going to be that bias. I think Baldacci and Goldtoes are going to break down that bias, and it's at a perfect timing. You know, the world works weird. It's different. You know, at a time when there's a lot of beef, and I ain't even going to lie, I was talking to the homeboy the other day. He's a Southsider homie, and I was like, damn, I said, I'm going to be real with you, carnal. I said, this fucking shit right here, bro, it's looking ugly, bro. These youngsters are tearing shit up. They don't give a fuck, right? They're not adhering to any of the peace or the end of hostilities or any of that. And he was like, Charlie, bro, they're wild. You know, it's a new generation, bro. You got to adapt or get adapted. It's just what it is. And I said, no, I understand, right? And I said, but you know, look at the rap styles. Look at the music. Look at the beat. Look at the way they're carrying themselves and dressing nowadays. I can't tell who's who and what's what anymore. You know, I just can't tell. If I pulled up on a gas station, I wouldn't know who was a north or south, only other than color. And even then, if you're in Southern California, you can't tell because some of them vatos, they don't care about colors. There's vatos that actually wear red rag. So you just wouldn't know, right? Unless you know. And we came to a common understanding that shit was getting ugly. It was going to get more uglier than it got prettier. Put it like that, right? But then people like Baldacci and Goldtoes are coming out with music working hand in hand. I think that's a great thing, man. I think a new era has begun. I think other vatos from down south as well as Northern California are going to see that and run with it. And I know Goldtoes gets hated on, man, in Southern California by very few, right? They don't want to see, they think that him coming in trying to sign what they consider camaradas or homies is a northern invasion, and that's the way the Norteños are going to establish in LA. I'm going to do a video on the other channel, probably within the next day or two, that's going to explain to you why Norteños probably will never establish in the Los Angeles area. Okay, and it has nothing to do with the way they conduct themselves or being down or anything like that. And, you know, it has more to do with area, space, and time, right? And that's just it. But, you know, so Baldacci's working with Goldtoes. It's out there. Hey, that man is a man. He fucking stepped up to the plate and said, I'll do it. I will do it. And I don't even think it was to prove to anyone else or him or Goldtoes had anyone else in mind when they did that. It's all business, man. It's all about making good music. It's all about getting a bag. Why not? You know, I know Toes gets hated on as far as, oh man, he's a norteño or he doesn't like Southsiders and this and that, you know. There's a lot of, when it was guerra back in the days, there was a lot of shit that was said. There was a lot of mics that were breathed upon in a bad way. There was a lot of disrespect because people weren't educated enough to understand that the other side was just like them. See, I was lucky to get the heads up till I was fed up. Now, that was hard. And what I got as a young kid, man, and believe me, when I went into that Nellis to CYA, I had a lot of hatred for Southsiders. I was like, I'm trying to body something. They're trying to body me. I'm trying to body them back, man. Let's get it. You know what I mean? No diddy. Let's really get this shit because at the end of the day, I knew that these vatos hated me as much as I hated them, but I didn't know shit. They did not. You know, just like me, myself, just like them, we were being told all these reasons to hate each other without being told the reason why. Do you understand? It was all propaganda. It was all, we were all pawns on a chessboard. None of us were the rook. You know, we were just a pawn, humps. And as I started to realize that and started to grow older and could think for myself, I realized, damn, these vatos are cool as fuck. I like their stilo. See, I've always been into the Chicano culture, the Cholo culture, the lowriders. It's how I grew up. You know, a lot of people say, damn, homie, you should have been a Southsider. Why? Norteños did that too. You know, I had homeboys that were Cholos, suspenders, brim hats, Van Davises, you know what I'm saying, Cortezes. We did that too. We don't get recognized for doing that. We get recognized for dreads and gold teeth and puffy jackets and fur with fur on them. And again, there are homeboys that do that. I think every man has a different swag and a different stilo. And everyone gets clumped into one group just because of one or two people. That ain't the way it is, though. I'm just so happy that Baldacci, a real representative of the South, homes, a true Southsider rapper, man. And, you know, Goldtoes, an entrepreneur from Northern California, you know, who's, yes, lightweight affiliated with people from up north. Why not? Now he's affiliated himself with people from down south. And believe me, best believe, just like there's hatred from down south for Goldtoes, there's a lot of hatred being spoken in the undercuts for Goldtoes up north. A lot of vatos are like, why is this vato working with them other vatos? Why is he working with you, bro? Some of them vatos got more talent and vice versa. Anyways, with that being said, man, I got a banger coming. I got a couple bangers coming for you guys on this channel today. I'm not playing. I'm dropping heat, man. Make sure you guys tap in later. Something new. Let me know if you guys like it. Of course, we got Super Norteño episode 20. Hey, what's going on, 20? What happened to the other life? The economy, see? The economy. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. Let me know what you think about Baldacci working with Goldtoes. It's official, like a referee's whistle. They actually dropped a video together. There's been plenty of pictures seeing them together, man. I truly believe this is a new era. It just began. And I can't wait to see who's going to get on now. I can't wait to see people like Bozo, what they got to say about it. You know, are they going to disrespect, you know, and be like, damn, Holmes, that shit ain't cool, Holmes. What, think about what your homeboys from the hood got to say about it. Fuck what the homeboys from the hood got to say about it, to be honest with you. Hey, most homeboys that are your real righteous camaradas and homeboys, they're going to be like, hey, get that bolsa. Straight up, the more money you get, it's the more money we get. Show! That's just what it is, man. This is the gun. Bang, bang.